Hey, this is Joe Kuhn of Lean Driven Reliability. I'm so excited to have a couple guests join me. A couple days ago, I made a video on solar, and I was proposing that you, the viewer out there, look at this as an option for your safe investments, as a replacement for maybe some of your bonds, to diversify out of bonds because of the extreme low return of bonds. And, you know, solar is something that looks pretty attractive for the right, set of circumstances. I like to stay in my lane. I talk about reliability and maintenance. I talk about early retirement. I'm not a subject matter expert on solar, so I brought in a couple of subject matter experts. So if you could introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, my name's Aurora. I work at Energy Pal. I was a solar consultant for a while, and then now I sort of have my hands in a bunch of different areas. One of them is trying to meet with some of our partners like Joe here.
Yes, and my name is Alex, and Joe, thanks again for having us on here. I'm one of the oldest senior solar advisors here at Energy Pal. Help thousands of clients make this transition in a smooth and transparent way, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. Hey, so great. Let's just get right into questions. My first question is, I do see this as a pretty risk-free investment, okay, that is very attractive compared to current bond yields. If there are people getting 5 to 10% return kind of pretty easily if you're right set of circumstances, and we're going to talk about that. But also something you do need to recognize is this is tax-free. So if you're getting 10% return on the investing in solar, you don't pay taxes on it because you're really just lowering your expenses, and you don't have the risk of inflation going up as your electrical rates go up. So, hey, my first question there is it's very simple, who should really be looking at solar?
Right. So they're high cost electricity states are where solar definitely makes the most sense today. Places like Arizona, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Florida, Illinois, Massachusetts, Maryland, New Jersey, New York, Nevada, South Carolina, Texas. We've even seen North Carolina, Utah, Virginia. Homeowners get good economics with solar. Typically, people can make upfront investments and get a very good return. And it really depends on a person's financial situation. But we have multiple packages, and we try and find the most optimal way for them to do so, because some people can do it with no money down, full ownership options, 20 to 50% upfront investment day one. There's no other investment where we don't have to put any cash out to actually earn, or stop shelling out money to the utility companies. So you can take those savings and do other things with other investments. There's multiple ways that we can help people make this transition.
What I've learned over the last 30 days is there's a lot of factors. It's not just the state you're in and your price per kilowatt. Okay. Some states offer rebates. Some states have higher cost per kilowatt. Some states are northern states and they get a little less sunlight. Some, roof design, orientation of your house, all these things factor in. It's pretty complicated to get your hands around. And that's where I think, Energy Pal kind of helped me when I went through the process is, hey, here's 15 variables. We looked at them for you and where you live in your house. So I really, really like that. So what's the value proposition for Energy Pal? I know you're no cost to the consumer, absolutely zero cost. So what are you guys trying to do?
So there's a lot of good reasons to go with Energy Pal, and ways that we're able to work in a market that a lot of people go to a local kind of installer. So, and I think one of the things that a lot of people think is, you're still going local when you're going Energy Pal. We're not flying people in from, Texas to go to California or whatever. You're using people who live in your state. And I think that's great. But one of the things we're able to do, I think, would be better equipment and more selection. So, you go to a local guy and they're going to try and sell what they have in their warehouse. Of course, we have national access to tons of different premium brands. So we're really able to zero in on what's going to be the best choice for you, not dependent on what we have, but dependent on your needs. And we can do those at wholesale prices, which brings me to, I think, the second reason that Energy Pal makes a lot of sense for most people is that wholesale prices, we can do a better price. You go solar with us, you're going solar with 300 other people in your state that month. So you can get a lower price than if you went direct a lot of those times. And then we also, of course, I think Alex mentioned this, we have more financing options. So you can do a big front investment and recoup a lot of that investment several times over, or you can find a zero down option, and we have the best financing for that. And then I think the third reason I would say is probably safety and warranties. So we're end to end, and we support the whole process. And we have a very high success rate of getting you to installation. If you go somebody local and they make a mistake, you don't really have anybody else to call. You got to hope that they're going to take care of you. With us, you have us to escalate it, as well as the national brands that we're partnered with and the multi-billion public companies that you can take it up with. So I would say price, selection, and more secure of investment.
I think, you just reminded me of, the house I'm in right now. You got a window.
Yeah.
We built this house, and the people who we bought our windows from went out of business. So they had a lifetime warranty on with the company that doesn't exist anymore. And so, the local installers, they may be there in 2 years, 5 years, may not, may get gobbled up by somebody else. So I think that's an excellent point. So how are you guys compensated? Why are you in business?
Great question. I'm just in it for love of solar. No. No. So we make our money similar to a Costco model. So where they're selling a bigger volume of equipment and can take therefore a smaller margin off all of them. And so if you think of the way that we've optimized a lot of the processes that a small company would have to do, like sales, marketing, project management, we've optimized it so we can do it much more efficiently, and we can pass those savings through to our consumers. So we'll get paid by the installers, but we get paid the same no matter what we install, whether it's the best, highest premium item or super value. So it's sort of, we get paid by them, we pass the savings on to you, the customer, and we're all happy, we're all saving, and we're saving the earth a bit, so that's nice too.
Yeah, absolutely. And so your service is free. What the next question is, there's a lot of talk in state houses about net metering. And so talk for a second on what net metering is compared to market price, and what security I may have if my state happens to change the rules to wholesale pricing versus net metering.
Sure, Joe, I'm going to take this one. So yes, there is a lot of talk about the change to net metering in multiple states. The incredible thing is that once your application to solar and net metering is approved from your utility, which we get prior to actually installing the system, your rates are grandfathered over, 10, 20, 25 years. It depends on the state, and we're transparent with what we're actually offering people with their security. So the bigger risk is actually waiting and losing out on the amazing net metering programs available today. We don't typically see net metering programs get better over time.
Okay, so that's kind of that's important, because this is an old myth of mine, is that, hey, I'm going to put in a system and the law is going to change the next day, and then I lose 75% of what I thought of my business case. I lost 75% of it. But you're seeing, them being grandfathered in, and there is some risk if you put your system in after a change, you may just get the wholesale price, which is about, I found that to be about a quarter. So yeah, that actually helps a lot. The next question, what about banking of megawatts? Or megawatts? I'm used to my power plant experience coming through. Some of you know that I've worked 4 years at a power plant, but the kilowatts, can you bank those each month? If I generate excess, what happens monthly at the end of the year with kilowatts? How do you design a system?
Sure, yeah, so, and that's an important question. So states with good net metering programs tend to have annual cycles where at the end of the billing year or the anniversary of the system being installed, your credits and your usage are added up. And that's why they call it net metering. Now, it depends on your state. Some states you can get cash back for the returns at wholesale rates. Other ones, you just forfeit the credit. So Energy Pal makes sure to correctly design your systems based on your state and utility and maximizing the savings, but not overbuilding these, and simply giving away excess power to the utility. That kind of defeats the purpose. An Energy Pal consultant has all the tools that is useful from a state level utility as well as for the home with usage information to calculate the right size system for our clients.
Yeah, so
And very few of that is megawatts.
Yeah, a megawatt of solar panels would be in a whole lot, right? So, hey, another myth that I would like to talk about is, hey, my house here, we built it 15 years ago. I'm not a candidate for solar power because my roof is 15 years old. I need to wait till I put a new roof on the house. What's your comment on that?
And this is important to consider as well, right? Like, there are a couple reasons to go solar now than wait. The first is that as soon as you install your solar, you'll lower your home energy bills and start saving money immediately. If you wait, you're simply just losing out. Secondly, the federal tax incentive, the investment tax credit, the ITC, it's 26% now and it's declining. The credit can often be used to help subsidize these types of added additions, such as a re-roof or electrical work and things of that nature. So the cost of your roof now will actually be less than if you wait. We can help with these types of transitions. There's also ways of being able to have the systems, removed, stored on site, and then reinstalled at the house. And if you still got 10 years of your roof left, that's 10 years of potential savings. And when you compare that to the minimal cost of this type of reinstallation, dismount and reinstall, it's very minimal, and the numbers add up significantly in your favor, in the homeowner's favor.
I think it was a surprise for me, ignorance on my part, is that once you have solar panels up on your roof and you need a new roof, you can come in and take them off, and it's not the same price to take them off to put on a new roof than it may cost a couple $1,000s, which in several cases is less than 1 year's worth of savings. So if you have less than, if you've got a 20-year roof, this may make sense for you. And that was a surprise for me going through the process. I just thought I wouldn't be a candidate at all because I had a 15-year-old roof. So that's good to get that information out there. Is there a guarantee on performance of the solar panels? Do they degrade over time? Talk about that for a second.
So solar panels will degrade over time, and they used to degrade much faster. But the panels that we work with, and we really exclusively work with some of the best brands, we really don't do anything below a certain efficiency percentage, are going to degrade extremely slowly. So depending on the panel that you get, it could be up to 2% in the first year, and then you're probably looking at anywhere from 0.5% to 0.25% after that. And
yeah, most of the panels are still operating at a 92% capacity by year 25.
Yeah,
those are like the top tier panels, so they're essentially like brand new 25 years down the road. So even though technology changes, if it's not broken, why fix it?
Yeah, try leaving your radio out in the rain for 25 years and have it work at 92% efficiency.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And to me, and I think this applies to the audience too. There's just a lot of myths that things have changed, technology has changed, and you really need to be looking at this. So, hey, other than paying full cost up front, what are majority of people do? Are they paying the full cost? I've talked about this as an alternative to bonds. If somebody's got $25,000, $35,000, you may think about this as a great return. What are people doing as far as financing their solar panels?
Sure. So, about 75% of our customers go solar for zero out-of-pocket expenses. These programs include solar loans, leases, power purchase agreements, and they're great for homeowners in many different situations. It really depends on a client's goals, their financial situation, what program makes the most sense for them. It's our job to dig deep, help homeowners find the best savings forward, and whatever would be that investment will, get them the best savings possible. So we narrow that down so that everybody's on the right page and weigh all of the options so that our clients can make an informed decision.
Okay, excellent. So how can somebody begin the process with Energy Pals? What's that like?
Yeah, so sometimes it could take 20 minutes, sometimes it can take over an hour. I usually set aside an hour in my calendar, but it can even go longer than that. Sometimes people just are too busy and they have little time, and we can be very efficient and effective with that. But the more time that people set aside, the more sense it's going to make, because we can get really into the details of your situations and really see what's going to work for you.
Yeah, and when I was going through the process, you had a little, like, you were working on a model that was very interactive. You were asking me questions about where solar panels were could be on my house, and then turning them on and off, and then going through the process. So I was very impressed with how flexible and interactive and how detailed your analysis was. And we had probably, I made the phone call last longer because of my engineering background. But it was like 30 minutes, and all you required up front. I was shocked by this. Well, answer the question. What do you need up front to perform this analysis?
Your address.
Yeah, address, contact information, utility company, and
That's really
it takes like a 5-minute introductory call, and then we're able to see if it right there, that's the main filter, and then we're able to dig deeper for people who we think are automatically going to have a higher chance of a good return here.
Right.
I was, we're able to do that no other company can do is we can compare, like you said, with that program, we can compare several different options in live time. So that makes it easier for us too, and for you. So we're like, here's some options. One of these looks best, and kind of guide in that way.
Yeah, excellent. I just thought the process was very simple. I gave you a picture of a utility bill and my address, and just looked at Google Earth and look, you saw what trees were in my yard. It's amazing all the factors that go into making this a good decision or a bad decision. And I think, to a credit to Energy Pal, you guys came back to me and said it's not a good decision for you in Southern Indiana. It's not with Indiana and the location design of my house. You came back and said this is not right for you, but I can really easily see this as being a great option for people to look at. And all you got to do is hit the link that's below in the in the description for this video, and you send off some information, and you set up a 20-minute meeting. To me, you got to look at this as a diversification opportunity for you. What's the worst that can happen? They'll tell you no, and they told me no. So I was you didn't try to talk me into stuff. You just said, hey, the math doesn't seem to work out for you. Outstanding. Hey, any closing comments from?
Yeah, absolutely. And that speaks to exactly what you were just talking about, Joe. So, Energy Pal was founded as a means to protect consumers from pushy sales tactics. Price gouging, disinformation. We're all about transparency. We want to empower the homeowners to be able to make the best choices for them and their lovely homes, and passing through savings. We don't drive to the house. You can contact us anytime.
Yeah, I love that. Your business model appears to me you're going off reputation and recommendations. And so let's demystify this whole process. I don't want to have the experience of going on a used car lot, negotiating, haggling, what's going on here. And that can happen with, a local solar salesman. And the experience to me was, hey, you're trying to do a service to people. Your whole model is, let's make them comfortable. Let's give them information. Let's analyze this. And I felt that I had an ally in my corner looking at this. So to me, I really encourage you viewers, hit the link below, talk to these folks, very friendly. You'll probably be talking to one of these too. So they're very friendly and not intimidating at all. So please look at that. This is Joe out.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Joe.